Good day. My name is Jasmine Valenzuela Tolasa. In today's digital landscape, securing IT systems is not just about prevention. It is also about visibility. Now, audit policies helps us monitor user actions and system events, making it easier to detect security issues and to ensure the compliance. Today, we will discuss how to set up these policies in group policy to better protect and manage our systems. Now, first, let us define group policy. Group policy is a feature of Windows that provides centralized management and configuration of operating systems, applications, and user settings in an Active Directory domain. Now, what can you control with a group policy? With group policy, you can manage and enforce settings such as number one, security settings, which is password policies, lockout policies, and even the firewall settings. Number two, we have user restrictions, which is used to disable control panels, restrict access to applications. We have number three, software deployment, which is automatically installing and blocking the software. Number four, we have system configuration, Windows Update settings, network settings, and scripts. And lastly, we have desktop environment, which is just setting wallpapers, redirecting folders, and even the lock screen settings. Now, what are the types of group policies? We have two, the local group policy and the domain group policy. The local group policy affects only the local computer, which is used to stand alone PCs not joined to a domain. While we have the domain group policy, which is applied through Active Directory to multiple users or computers, which is managed by the Group Policy Management Console or GPMC on a domain controller. Now, how's it applied? Group policies are applied in this order: local group policy, site level policies, domain level policy, and organizational unit or OU policy. Now, if there's a conflict, the last applied or the OU level usually wins unless enforced. Now, let us proceed to the 8 best group policy guides that there is. Number one, we have prohibit access to the control panel. Now, what does it do? The prohibit access to the control panel group policy settings prevents users from opening the control panel and the PC settings. Now, when enabled, users will see an error message if they try to open it, and all shortcuts to it, such as the start menu links, are removed or disabled. Now, why do we use this policy? Because this policy prevents users from changing system settings like the display, the network, or even the security. This also reduces misconfigurations caused by non-admin users. It is also useful in environments such as schools, while also to keep students' computers locked down, the public labs or libraries, and corporate offices with strict IT policies. Number two, we have prevent access to the command prompt. Now, what does it do? The prevent access to the command prompt group policy setting disables the use of the command prompt or the cmd.exe for users. Now, when enabled, users cannot open their CMD, and even if they try, they will receive a restriction message. Optionally, it can also prevent running batch or .bat files. Now, why do we use this policy? This policy stops users from executing command line operations that can change the system's behavior. It also prevents bypassing restrictions, editing files, or even launching scripts. Lastly, it is also essential for school, public labs, offices, or kiosk setups. Number three, we have deny all removable storage access. Now, what does it do? This policy completely blocks access to all removable storage devices, such as USB flash drives, external hard drives, SD cards, and the portable media devices. For example, the smartphones used in MTP mode. Now, users will not be able to read, to write, or even see the devices in File Explorer. Why do we use this policy? This because this policy prevents data theft via USB or exfiltration. This also protects against malware slash ransomware from infected drives. It also enforces data security compliance or the HIPAA the GDPR, and etc., and it is very ideal for government, schools, offices, and laboratories. For the fourth, we have prohibit users from installing unwanted software. Now, what does it do? The group policy objective prevents users from installing unauthorized or harmful softwares on their Windows systems by blocking installation methods or restricting application execution. Now, this helps to ensure that only trusted software runs on the system. Why do we use this policy? This prevents malware, spyware, or pirated softwares. It also avoids cluttering systems with bloatware. It also enforces software compliance, for example, licensing or IT standards. And lastly, it also maintains control on schools, laboratory, or enterprise environments. For the fourth, we have prohibit use. For the fifth one, we have guest account status settings. Now, what does it do? This setting allows you to enable or disable the built-in Windows guest account, which is designed for temporary access without giving the user the ability to install software or make system-wide changes. Now, by default, the guest account is disabled on modern Windows systems for security reasons. Now, why do we use or disable it? We enable it for temporary access for non-staff users. We enable it for a public/shared computers, for example, libraries, and we disable it for environments needing tight security, which is very recommended. For the fifth one, we have guest account status settings. Now, what does it do? This setting allows you to enable or disable the built-in Windows guest account, which is designed for temporary. Number 6. Do not store LAN manager hash values on next password changes. What does it do? The do not store LAN manager hash value on next password change policy prevents the system from storing the older LAN manager or LM password hash when a user changes their password. LM hashes are weak and outdated, and storing them exposes users to potential security vulnerabilities. Now, why is this policy important? The LAN manager hashes are considered insecure because they are vulnerable to dictionary and brute force attacks. Also, the Windows NT-based systems or NTLM hashes are more secure, but the LAN manager hashes were still used for backward compatibility with older Windows systems. Now, disabling the LAN manager hash improves password security by preventing weaker hash values from being stored in the system, which could otherwise be exploited by the attackers. Seventh, we have prevent auto restarts during scheduled update installations. Now, what does it do? The prevent auto restarts during scheduled update installations policy prevents Windows from automatically restarting after updates are installed, especially when the updates are installed during a scheduled maintenance window. Now, this is useful in environments where you want to avoid disruptions to users during business hours or specific working periods. Now, why do we use this policy? Because this policy prevents unexpected reboots. Users won't be interrupted with a reboot after updates are installed, giving them control over when to restart. It also improves the system uptime, which is particularly important in business environments or where systems are critical and need to remain active without interruptions. It also avoids productivity loss, especially in shared or public machines where a reboot could cause issues. Lastly, we have audit policies. Now, what does audit policies do? Now, audit policies in Windows allows you to track various security events and activities within the system. Now, these policies helps you monitor user and system behavior, detect suspicious activity, and ensure compliance with security standards. Audit policies record actions such as user logins and logoffs, access to sensitive files, changes to security settings, the privilege usage, and even the system events. Now, this data is essential for forensics, troubleshooting, and ensuring that the users are following security best practices. Now, why do we use audit policies? We use audit policies by the following: security monitoring. Security monitoring is the tracking of user actions for signs of malicious or unauthorized activity. We also have compliance. Compliance help with industry standards like PCI DSS, the HIPAA, or GDPR. We also have incident investigations, which is useful in case of a security breach to see what happened before, during, and after the event. Now, lastly, forensics. Forensics identify what actions were taken by the users or systems down to a granular level. Now, in summary, group policy is a potent feature that allows administrators to effectively manage and secure network environments through enforcing uniform settings on users and devices. With its use, organizations can enhance operational effectiveness, improve security, and have greater control over their IT infrastructures. Thank you for your time, and I hope this presentation has been informative regarding the significance and potential of group policy settings. Thank you so much for watching.